Welcome to A Journey into Yoga. I'm Susan Rubenstein. Today we'll be practicing from a place of support. And what that means is we'll be using a chair. This is pretty much where we'll stay. And I've brought along with me a couple other props that you may have at home. And I'll give you some suggestions that you can use to feel very supported. And we can work on our breathing and a variety of beautiful yoga stretches that will help you feel relaxed, yet still supported in your chair. So the important things about knowing your body is how it's feeling. If you're new to the yoga practice, you may want to just check with your doctor and rule out any potential health risks. We will not be bringing our head below our heart today, so this might be just the perfect practice for you. Nor will we be doing any deep twisting, so this may be really healthy for your back. But what we're going to focus on is a series of breathing exercises, some wonderful ways to release tension in our shoulders and our neck, ways of opening up our arms, a soft stretch through the spine, and a few different things that we can do with our legs. So I hope you're in a position where you can get yourself together into a chair. Try to find a chair that you feel upright in. Now, I've brought along a couple tools that will assist you if you feel like you're maybe collapsing or if you just don't quite feel like your feet are fully to the ground. If you're having trouble keeping your feet on the ground and parallel to one another, I brought along a yoga block. Now, with a yoga block, the thing is, it's nice and it's foamy. It's not too big in size. You can place your heels or your whole foot on. However, you always have the option too of using books or something else that will lift you up. So this kind of brings the knees up in alignment with the hips so we sit up nice and tall. Next, I brought along a blanket, and you can also use a pillow with this. So what you can do is take this object, slide it behind you, and what that's going to do is going to give you a lot more support to lift up and to feel very open so we don't feel collapsed. This provides a lot of space for our diaphragm. So those are a couple tools that you can use or not. I'm going to keep them with me, and just so if you're using them, you kind of get a sense of how you should be sitting and what you should look like. So as we begin, we're going to start with our breathing. So what I want you to do, just for a moment, is place your hands onto your lap, palms slowly turn so that they're open so we can seep energy right in through our fingers. We're going to begin with relaxed or closed eyes. And just sit for a moment and listen for the sound of your breath. As we start to pay closer attention to our breath, it may remind us of the sound that we hear in the wind. It may remind us of being at the beach in the summer and hearing the sounds of the ocean, the waves coming upon the shore and then slowly receding back into themselves again. So we'll find through stillness, we're more in tune with not only how our breath sounds, but what it feels like. So just observe your breath. Observe where you're breathing from, how much space you can access. When you breathe out, are you finding yourself letting go of tension, of negative thoughts? Our breath teaches us not to judge ourselves, but to be more observant. So as we become more aware of our breath, what I'd like you to do now is just to take your hands and place them on your belly, so just slightly below your navel. Now this begins to access the diaphragm. So diaphragmatic breathing is a wonderful way to create a sense of calm and ease when you're feeling anxious, when you're feeling tired, when you're stressed. So there's a lot of different components to how diaphragmatic breathing can help. It's a wonderful way to get after surgery, reestablished with your body, reconnected. I know it's a wonderful breath that they use with heart patients recovering from surgery to find a way to just reestablish a sense of calm, a sense of well-being with their bodies. So I'd like you to place your hands onto your belly. Sometimes with our eyes closed, we can heighten the sense of what's going on inside. But if you're more comfortable with your eyes open, then just leave them that way. Now, with diaphragmatic breathing, when we breathe in, we want to expand the belly. So it's like blowing into a balloon. So if your eyes are open, notice how my hands are expanding out. That's when you breathe in. And then when you breathe out, you feel the belly come in, navel into the spine. So let's feel that connection. Breathing in, allow the belly to expand. Breathing out, feeling the navel come into the spine. So how long would this breath be? It can balance out somewhere from 3 to 5 to 6 seconds. It depends on how you're feeling and how comfortable you are with the length of time that you want to breathe in and you want to breathe out. So then from there, we're just going to move our hands up onto our midrib. So this would be the second piece. So now when we breathe, we feel that our ribs become slightly elastic. We breathe in and the ribs expand, not just forward, but through the sides and into the back ribs. And then we breathe out, we feel the ribs knit back together, drawing the shoulders and the shoulder blades down. So we've just layered this on top of our belly breathing. And then finally, with our third part, we're going to take our hands up onto our chest. So as we bring our hands up onto our chest, right along the sternum, I want you to take the heels of the hands more towards the armpits. So instead of just breathing a shallow breath, which we all know when we get anxious, sometimes we're just breathing in our chest, we want to try to keep the chest smooth. But we do want to feel that breath come in and underneath the arms. So if you think about if you were wearing suspenders, where your thumbs would be and how that would feel. So just rest your hands. Feel the heels of the hands reach around to the underside of your arms and find the breath. So we feel the fullness in the belly, the ribs, and that wonderful soothing expansion across the chest. One more time, we breathe in and we breathe out. Good. So you're going to allow that breath now to take on its own shape. But from time to time, remember that you have the tools now to work on the 3-part breath, whether it's now, during our time together, or even later on. It's very useful. So we're going to begin now to incorporate some breathing with some movement. So we're going to start with the tip of our nose. And what I want you to do is just to slowly begin with the tip of your nose to trace a circle. Just keep going in the same direction. Relaxing the shoulders down away from the ears. And then we come back to center. And then now we go in the opposite direction. Just very slowly, letting the tip of the nose trace the circle. And then we bring the nose back to center. Now, we're going to take the chin and we're going to slowly lift it up towards the sky, relax the mouth, the jaw, the tongue. And then as we bring the head back to center, we're going to slowly close the mouth and lower the chin down towards the chest. So again, we lift the head up as we breathe in, softly opening the mouth. We might even feel the breath vibrate the back of the throat. The soothing sound, and then we breathe out and we slowly lower. Let's do that 2 more times. Breathing in Breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. So one more thing to mention about the breath is questions that do come up. Should I be using my nose and my mouth, both, one or the other? Really, it's finding the breath that feels good to you. Now, in the tradition of yoga, we try to just use the nose to breathe. But sometimes if we're congested in our sinuses, or if we're just feeling a little bit off, we want the mouth to get involved. So we don't want to be panting with our breath. We want it to feel very soothing. So try both. Try breathing with your nose, then maybe opening your mouth and adding that part to it on the exhale. Now, we're going to take the head, bringing it center. We're going to slowly breathe in, looking off to one side, letting our eyes explore what we see, and then slowly bringing our head back to center. And then we're just going to slowly bring the head to the other side, and then coming back to center. Let's do that again. Let's do that with our breath. Breathing in. Breathing out as we come back to center. Breathing in as we go to the other side. Breathing out. One more time each side. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last time, breathing in. And breathing out. Good. Now, take the right ear and let it fall towards the right side. Relaxing the right shoulder down. Now from here we can pause, feeling a wonderful release along the left side of the neck down into the shoulder. And then we can change the positioning, the angle of how we're holding our head. Maybe we can drop it slightly forward a little bit more, drawing our eyes down. If that feels good, take a few breaths. And then slowly lifting the chin back into the same plane where we started. And then gently tipping the chin up towards the sky. So we kind of feel a shift of the stretch, moving underneath the jaw down the side of your neck. And then bringing the head center. And then sometimes it's nice just to use your fingers to draw that head back up. So we'll set our shoulders down, take a full breath in again. Breathing out, we're going to wander over to the other side. Relaxing both shoulders. Softly releasing the chin forward. And then gently bringing the head back up. And then lifting the chin a little bit higher to feel that wonderful stretch from under your jaw, down the side of your neck, into your shoulder. Eyes can just kind of roam around and explore the shapes, the colors, the textures that we see. And then as you bring your head slowly back to center, it comes into alignment. So let's take our fingers now, slide them right into the shoulder socket. So just where you feel the shoulder and then that curvature on the tops of the shoulders. And then bring the elbows around. So let your breath follow the movement. Big sweep as we inhale and drawing down as we exhale. Notice how we draw the elbows down and we feel the tension just melt away. And then we're going to take that in the opposite direction. So we're sweeping the elbows up, around, and down. One more time. Good. And then open. Now from here, extend the arms out. Softly close your hands and then just circle through the wrists. So movement creates the flow of energy, and it also moves fluids through the body. So it's important to add movement to your everyday activities, especially in the winter. In the cold months, we feel a little drier. We notice that through our skin. We might not be drinking as much water. So movement is really important to help keep the fluids flowing through the body and to remind us to care for our skin, to hydrate the body. Now we're going to take the hands, we're going to bring them out in front, turn the palms over. We're just going to gently touch and release. So notice how we're tapping the shoulders and extending the arms a little faster than the tempo of our breath. This also helps to strengthen the upper body, which is important because we want to be able to take ourselves up out of a chair or support ourselves when coming down or reaching for something. Let's do this a couple more times. Good. And then we're going to take the arms and just rest them by the sides of your chair. Now, turning your palms out, inhale, gently lift the head. The neck is nice and warm. We look up to our thumbs. Exhale, gazing center, arms down. We'll do that again. Inhale, scooping to rise up. Exhaling, we float the arms down. Inhaling once again. Exhaling. We'll do this 2 more times. Deep breath in. Exhaling. Last time, inhaling. And exhaling. Good. So now just place your hands back onto your thighs. And I want you to rethink about your posture. So just notice if you've begun to slouch, and if you have that blanket or pillow behind you, draw the lower back into that blanket or pillow. At the same time, lift up what we call the floating ribs, the bottom ribs. Lift your chest. Draw your shoulder blades back. Good. Now, we're going to raise the left arm up. We're going to take this arm and bring it across the right thigh so that the palm faces to the outside of the knee. Now, having the arm of the chair or the back of the chair, walk your hand over. So there's a little bit of a turn, a soft twist to the spine. You can even just relax your elbow if you feel any tension in the shoulder. Now, back to the eyes. So even though the head is still, the eyes can still roam around, taking in what we see. We feel now the vibration of the breath in the belly, but through the soft twist of the spine. Good. And then slowly start to bring your arms back to center. Reposition your posture. Slide your shoulders back and down, sitting up nice and tall. Now we'll take the other side. So we reach up, inhaling. And then through an exhale, we open the palm, bringing it to the outside of the knee. Good. And then we just add a little bit of resistance there to help us lift through the chest and begin to turn. So again, you can rest the arm against the back of the chair, or hold whatever support you have near you, and then explore what you see with your eyes. Taking a few more breaths here. Good, and then slowly invite yourself back to center. Now, as the shoulders come back, we're going to just start to slowly lift and lower our legs. So wherever we are, I just want you to feel your feet lift off either your books or your block or the floor. We're just moving energy through the legs. Feeling the thighs work, keeping the belly nice and strong, but working on that good posture that we need when we sit upright. Good. Now, keeping your left foot down, let's bring the right leg in. We can hold below the knee or behind the thigh. As you hold it, let's circle through the ankle. A little bit of support. So this is where we want to think about that good posture that we've been talking about. And let's circle in the other direction. And then we're going to point and flex. Good, and then maybe even lift the foot up a little bit more, a little bit deeper stretch here as we're holding the back of the leg. Now, this stretches out the hamstring. If this is too difficult for you, you can always place the heel on the ground and then just lean forward a little bit, not too much, to get that same effect, that same stretch. But I'm going to hold the leg up. So I'm using a little bit of tone through my upper body, the support of my core. Good, and then take that leg down. And then before moving on, you can just take the heels of your hand and kind of knead through the thigh, massaging your thigh, releasing any tension. Good. So then we'll sit up, finding the good posture, and let's start with just alternating the legs again. So the same thing, bringing them up and down. You'll also notice as you're lifting the legs, your lower abdominal muscles, your stomach muscles are working. They're getting stronger. They help to protect your lower back. Now, as we take the left leg up, we're going to support behind the thigh and circle. If you feel like holding below the knee, you can do the same thing. Just make sure you're not pushing against your kneecap. We'll go the other direction. And then we'll point and flex through the foot. And then again, with the option of holding behind the leg, extending the leg out or lowering the foot to the ground to get that great stretch. Breathing into our hamstring, the center of our hamstring. Take one more breath. And then lowering the foot down, good. So, and again, just gently use the heels of your hands to work that flesh, softening the tension, softening the muscle from the bone. All right, so returning to a seated position, I want you to roll your shoulders back. We're going to take a deep breath in, arms up. Now, delicately take the right hand around your left wrist, and then we're just going to lean off to the side. So a little bit of a side stretch here. That's too much. Try just resting your arm against the chair and then slightly coming over to that side bend. So we'll hold this for a few breaths. And then coming up. Opening the arms, we'll take a deep breath in. And then now we'll take this same arm that was overhead and just bring it across the chest. So we're going to cradle it in the elbow. And then we're going to close the hand and circle through the wrist while we're stretching the back of the shoulder. So this should feel really good. Deep breath flowing through the body. Good, and then extend the arms out, take a full breath. We'll reach up, and then delicately just circling through the wrist and leaning off to the side or using the arm of the chair to rest. Feeling that the ribs are lifting delicately up from your hip while your hips stay grounded. And then slowly coming back to center, opening the arms, and then inviting the right arm to come across, or whichever arm you haven't crossed over your body yet. And then close the hand and circle. This is nice to do for your wrist. You can even open your fingers and move them around if you use your hands a lot. Good, and then take a deep breath in, reach the arms out, and then we breathe and come up with our arms. So now, very delicately, we're going to inhale, swan dive forward. Imagine scooping something off the floor, and then exhale, come back up. Inhaling once again, so that smooth hinge, scooping something precious from the earth, draw the energy up. Let's do this twice more. Inhaling, coming around and scooping under to lift as we exhale. Doing this one more time, inhaling, scooping under, and then exhale, reaching up. Good, and then letting your arms come down. So that, just a little bit of fluid movement can make our spine feel so good. So let's just finish now with just one last stretch for our shoulders. So I'm going to invite you to do one of two things. Cross one arm over the other, Vine the arms together. Breathe into the shoulders. If that's a little too challenging for you, just try to invite your hands to come together into a soft fist. Bring your elbows together and then press forward. Either way, you want to reach your forearms out. So we'll do this for a few breaths. So you'll either stay here if you've chosen the one of clasping the hands and the forearms parallel to one another, or if you vined, you'll just change the vine so the opposite arm wraps around. As we drop the shoulders, we press into the forearms, letting the breath flow. And then releasing. Let's just roll the shoulders back. And then take the arms up, reaching up. We lift as we inhale. Exhale, bringing the hands out in front of the knees. We'll do that twice more. Inhaling, you're tracing a circle. Exhaling. One more time, taking a deep breath in. And then we'll exhale, returning the hands right onto our lap. So as we begin to finish our journey together today, I invite you to return now to your seated position. You should feel a little bit more relaxed and centered. And just to review, remember that the 3-part breath begins in the belly, allowing the ribs to also follow in the expansion on the same breath, and then the chest slowly moving in a very subtle way that creates calm. And then we just exhale and let all of that relax. So that's a wonderful way to bring about calmness and centering into your daily life. So I leave you now to just sit and focus on your breathing, or maybe recap some of the different stretches that we explored today. Remembering that yoga is a wonderful practice, and as you know, we can sit in a chair and experience all the wonderful benefits, just as if we were sitting on a mat. So thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again. Have a wonderful day, and may peace follow you wherever you go.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.